Hello students, welcome back to our English class. I'm your teacher for today and I'm so excited to have you here. How are you all doing? Great! Today we are going to learn about something really interesting, narrative text. Have you ever read a legend or a fairy tale? Well, those are examples of narrative text. So, let's dive in and explore together. Before we start, let me tell you what we will learn today. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to first, identify the generic structure of narrative text. Second, recognize the language features used in narrative text. And third, understand the moral value from the story we'll read together. Are you ready? Let's go! So, what exactly is narrative text? Well, narrative text is a story that entertains readers and teaches us moral values. It tells about problematic events which lead to a crisis, and in the end, finds a resolution. In simple words, it's a story with a problem and a solution. There are many types of narrative text, such as legends, like Sangkuriang or Malin Kundang, fairy tales, like Cinderella or Snow White, and fables, like animal stories with lessons, such as The Ant and the Grasshopper. Today, we will focus on a very famous Indonesian legend. Can you guess which one? Now, let's talk about the structure. Every narrative text has a special structure, and it's very important to understand this. Number 1, orientation. This is the beginning of the story, where we meet the characters and learn about the setting, the time, and place of the story. Number 2, complication. This is the exciting part. Here, we find a problem or crisis in the story. Something bad or challenging happens to the characters. Number 3, resolution. This is where the problem gets solved. It can be a happy ending or a sad ending, depending on the story. And lastly, number 4, moral value. This is optional, but many narrative texts teach us a lesson about life. Remember these 4 parts, okay? Orientation, complication, resolution, and moral value. Easy, right? Now, let's look at the language features of narrative text. What makes narrative text special? First, we use simple past tense because we're telling a story that happened in the past. For example, we use the word live, when, was, and were. Second, time connectives, or words that connect the sequence of events like once upon a time, or then, or finally, or after that. Third, action verbs, or words that show action like walk, sailed, or shouted. And fourth, direct speech, when characters speak directly in the story, like, "Go away," he said. These features help make our story more interesting and easy to follow. Alright, now it's time for the story. Today, we're going to read the legend of Malin Kundang, a famous folktale from West Sumatra. I'm sure many of you already know this story, but let's read it together and identify the narrative structure. Are you ready? Let's begin! Here we go. Orientation, or the beginning of our story. Once upon a time, in a small village in West Sumatra, there lived a poor widow and her son, Malin Kundang. They lived in a small hut near the beach. Malin was a smart and brave young man. He wanted to change his family's fortune. Did you notice? We can identify who the characters are. Malin Kundang and his mother. Where the story takes place, West Sumatra, and when, once upon a time, in the past. Also, notice the verbs live, was, wanted, all in simple past tense. This is the orientation part. Now, here comes the problem. This is the complication part. One day, Malin decided to sail away to seek his fortune. Years later, he became a successful merchant and married a beautiful woman. When his ship stopped at his hometown, his mother recognized him and ran to hug him. But Malin was ashamed of his poor mother. "Go away, old woman! I don't know you," he shouted. Oh no! Can you believe it? Malin rejected his own mother. This is the crisis, the big problem in our story. His mother was so sad and heartbroken. Again, notice all the verbs in past tense. Decided, became, married, stopped, recognized, and ran. What happened next? Let's see the resolution. How the problem was solved. His mother was heartbroken and angry. She prayed to God and cursed Malin Kundang. "If you are truly my son, may God turn you into stone." Suddenly, a big storm came. Malin's ship crashed into the rocks and he turned into stone. Wow, what a tragic ending. Malin Kundang was punished for his bad behavior. He turned into a stone statue, and you can still see it on the beach in West Sumatra today. This is the resolution or the ending of the story. So, what can we learn from this story? What is the moral value? The lesson is clear. Always respect and love your parents. Never be ashamed of your family, no matter how rich or successful you become. Malin Kundang became wealthy, but he forgot about his mother, who raised him with love. He was punished because he didn't honor his parents. So remember, students, always be grateful to your parents, respect them, and never forget where you come from. Success means nothing if you lose your family and your values. Let's do a quick review about the structure we just learned. Number 1, orientation. Malin and his mother lived in West Sumatra. Number 2, complication. Malin rejected his mother when he became rich. Number 3, resolution. His mother cursed him and he turned into stone. Number 4, moral value. Always respect your parents. See? It's easy to identify when you know the structure. Alright, now it's your turn. Let's test your understanding with some quick questions. Question 1. What is the generic structure of narrative text? The answer is orientation, complication, resolution, and moral value. Did you get it right? Question number 2. What tense is mostly used in narrative text? Yes, simple past tense. Very good. Question number 3. What is the moral value of the Malin Kundang story? Correct. Always respect and love your parents. Excellent job, everyone. Now, before we finish, I have an assignment for you. I want you to write your own narrative text. You can choose one of these topics. First option, write about your unforgettable experience. Second option, write about a famous Indonesian legend that you know. Or the last option, write about a fairy tale that you love. Remember to include all the parts we learned today: orientation, complication, and resolution. And don't forget to use simple past tense. Your story should be at least 150 words. Take your time, be creative, and have fun with it. And that's it for today. Good job, everyone! Now, you understand what narrative text is, its structure, and its language features. You even know the famous legend of Malin Kundang. Keep practicing your English and don't forget to do your assignment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments or message me directly. Remember, practice makes perfect. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and goodbye.